Welcome back to the channel. Today I found a 2022 Ram 2500. This is going to be a bighorn, and check out the color. Hydro blue. This is a rare color spec for this truck. I mean, not for the bighorn, but it's just hard to find this color in general in any car. So we're going to go around this truck. I'm going to tell you what's new for 2022. So let's get into the video. Before I show you the window sticker, I wanted to give a special shout out to Ourisman, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Baltimore, Maryland. They did allow me to do this video, and be sure to actually me. Now, as I mentioned, here's the window sticker for the truck. It is going to be a 2022 2500 Tradesman Crew Craft 4-wheel drive. And just take a look at some of the options right here. Starting off with that hydro blue. And then they end up here. And then with the destination at $1,695, you have a total price just under $50,000 at $49,665. So as you guys just saw, this truck does have a chrome appearance, so the grille and the lower bumper is going to be chrome, including the rear, and you have the chrome cladded wheels too. Now, this truck does not have any tow hooks, so if you would like those, be sure to opt for them. And there are no fog lights available for the Tradesman trim level. But you do have a black insert for the grille. It looks pretty clean. This is a nice color. A lot of people have asked me to do a video on the hydro blue, so I'll try to get as close as I can so you guys can see this beautiful truck. I love this color. This does have the Firestone transverse tires, and they're going to be 275, 70, 18. You have a solid front axle and HEMI badge on the side. We'll go into the hood in a second. This does have the tow mirrors too, and it has the optional clearance lamps up top. I really like this color. It's so cool. You don't see this truck that much. And actually they have that almond green color right there. It's another good color. But as you can see with the Tradesman, you're going to have the black door handles. And just some bright emblems on the truck too. There are no running boards, but I feel like it's not too hard to get in and out of this truck without them if you're like my size. Like, I'm 6 foot, have long legs. And one thing that you probably saw was it did have the wheelhouse liners too. This is an option, so just keep that in mind. And as far as the fuel tank size goes, I believe this is a 31 gallon. They do give you a cap. Check out back. For 2022, with the trailering package, you would get a light now. I know Ford and GM trucks have that light, and Ram's pretty much adopting that same feature. These are going to be incandescent bulbs out back, and you do have halogen headlights. I did not mention that earlier. But you do have a Class 5 receiving hitch. You do have the parking sensors just below. And with that Class 5 receiving hitch, you do have your 4 and 7 pin and a backup camera. The tailgate is not assisted. You do have the option to get a spray and bed liner and a 5th wheel prep package too. The rear glass does slide even on the Tradesman, but keep in mind that might be an option. So you saw the truck in the sun. Now here you can kind of see it in the shade. It's a little bit brighter in the sun. In the shade, it looks like a little bit of a darker blue. Now, if you don't know, you can get a 410 axle as an option on this truck, but it does come standard with a 373, and it has a coiled suspension out back too. It rides pretty good. Once you get over 1,500 pounds of hitch weight, you probably want to look into some airbags. You do have an option to get air out back from the factory too, so just keep that in mind. So here it is. This is going to be the standard 6.4 liter HEMI. It's going to be good for 410 horsepower, 429 pound-feet of torque. It does use a 0W40 oil, and it only takes 7 quarts too, so it's a good benefit. Doesn't take a lot of oil for the most part, but I'm sure the engineers know what they're doing when they choose the amount of oil that the truck needs. But I think this is a good option. It does have MDS, multi-displacement system, so it will drop down to 4 cylinders. If you have had a Ram in the past, have you had any issues? Of people in the comment section have been blowing up about MDS having issues. I haven't heard anything. I asked some of the techs too to see if they've had any trucks come back, but no one said that they've had a truck come back with an issue with the MDS. So just wanted to make that clear here. But if you have had issues, let us know in the comment section. If you are looking at a tradesman, you do have power windows standard. Now power door locks is an option, so just keep that in mind. You do have power mirrors, and this is a pretty basic truck. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you're gonna have it all black on the door card, pretty much on the dash. And I love the seat design. The headrests do actually tilt too. And as I mentioned, it's a really nice design. It is all manual. You don't have any lumbar support, but getting in and out, like I said, is pretty easy for me. However, I mean, having running boards is always a plus. You do have automatic headlights, and you have a light for the bed. And check out your gauge cluster too. This is an option, so if you would like this nicer color screen, you would have to opt for it. Push button start is standard. Check that out. Has a sweep, and I like the 7-inch cluster a little bit better. I think you can get it on the Tradesman. I'll put it here in the video just to clarify, but it shows pretty much the miles per hour. You can change it to kilometers if you like, pretty easily. Here's all the information for your vehicle. Has a coolant, transmission temperature, oil temp, oil pressure, oil life, battery voltage. My favorite gauge summary. This is something that Ford and GM trucks don't do. So it shows you the coolant level, the transmission, the oil temp, and the oil PSIs, engine hours, and then it shows you the tire pressure. Fuel economy, you have 2 settings for this too. Trip information, trip A and trip B. You have a trailer tow, it shows the distance, it shows the gain for the trailer brake, and then it shows you a trailer light check. So you have to have a trailer connected here. And audio messages, so if you have a bulb out, it'll show up here. Screen setup, and it takes you back to the beginning. You do have some buttons on the steering wheel. You don't have any on the back of it though. Normally that's what Ram does, but this truck does not have that. You do have the gear selector if you're towing, it's good for that. I normally use this too for going around town. I did not mention this does have an 8-speed transmission, 8 HP 75. It is a German transmission. I've heard they have pretty good transmissions overall. All right guys, so for 2022, you do have Uconnect 5. Now what that means is it is going to be faster, and it's going to bring features like Wi-Fi compatibility, and my favorite update is trailer specific navigation. Let me say that one more time. Trailer specific navigation. So I'm assuming that means if you're going in certain spots, if you use a specific height for your trailer, it should allow for the navigation to avoid that area for you. It does have over-the-air update capability too, so that's another cool feature for that. So the system looks pretty cool. It looks nice and updated. And this is the home screen. You do have audio. I think that for the most part, Stellantis, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, whatever you want to call them at the moment, they have the best interface in the business. I think that everyone should copy them because they're just killing it. And here's the phone area for it. And then here is just the vehicle information. It does take a little bit more time to learn this system, but I think that overall is pretty easy. And then here's your apps. I'm gonna go back to vehicle. You do have your controls here, so rear view camera, you can get there pretty quickly. Even this looks a little bit new too. So everything looks so clean and refreshing for the new 2022 Ram. Now you do have your volume control, and you can turn off the screen if you like. Climate, it's just a single climate control, it's not dual. You have your trailer brake, traction control, tow haul, and then you do have the rear parking sensors. There are no front parking sensors, however. You have 4 USBs down below with an auxiliary and coin holders with a little bit of storage behind them. Love the shifter on the floor, and your center console is pretty much all the same. You do have a USB, so there's basically 5 in total up front with another coin holder right there. And this is a 6-passenger, so you can fit an extra person in here. Up top, they still are giving you incandescent bulbs. I'm hoping they do LEDs. Spot right up top for your shades, or right here with another power outlet, old school one. And there is no vanity on this side, but there might be one on this side, and there is. And that's pretty much it for the front. Open storage. If you go to a Bighorn, that would be closed, like it'll be a cover for it. And then decent size glove box. And pretty much everything's the same on that side for the interior. Out back, you do have the same door card, power window. One thing I would like to see new for the Ram, for the tradesman, is they give you a 60/40 bench. It shouldn't cost them that much to do that. Probably pennies on a dollar for them, but nevertheless, it all goes up together. You do have storage below the seat. They do give you some air vents out back to keep your rear occupants comfortable. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They do give you hooks behind the seat too. Before I show you guys the numbers for this specific truck, here's everything else listed for 2022 for the HD lineup. Now, as I mentioned, that new Uconnect 5 is going to have tow specific navigation. I don't believe you can use this unless you have the navigation that comes on the truck, so just keep that in mind. And also, the 2022 Ram is going to have a new silver edition for the Bighorn Lone Star, and that's everything that's listed here. Be sure to pause it. I'm not going to go through everything here. New for 22 for the Power Wagon is they're going to add the level 3 equipment group. They did that anniversary package last year, so basically they're just discontinuing that package and just making it a level 3 equipment group. And moving on down, they are going to offer electronic transfer case. If you have the center console, it's going to delete the mechanical shifter on the floor. Next thing on the list is the black interior updates for the Limited, and be sure to read what's in there. I like that it's going to have black smoke speaker grills too. I want to see that once they start making their way to the dealerships. Tow mode now available with digital rearview mirror. Available trailer 360 view, and it's going to provide that bird's eye view for the trailer. Trailer hitch light, as I mentioned in the video. And last but not least, you're going to have a unique grille design and texture for that Bighorn and Lone Star. Oh, and I forgot, there is a new color too. So Harvest Sunrise is a new color for the lineup. Not sure which trim levels it's going to come on, but I'm sure it's probably going to be available on the Tradesman Bighorn, most likely the Laramie, and maybe the Power Wagon, but I can't see it available on the Longhorn and Limited package, but I could be wrong. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers, and that will effectively end this video. Now, as far as the numbers go, everything's pretty much the same. Gross axle weight rating is going to be 5,500 pounds. The gross axle in the rear is going to be 6,390 pounds. 10,000 pound GVWR, gross vehicle weight rating. And here's the payload. This number obviously changes with the options and features that you purchase for the truck. 3,201 pounds. That does seem kind of low for a truck that doesn't have spray and bed liner and a lot of other features, but nevertheless, guys, I mean, I personally believe you need the payload. Go to a 3,500, especially for a long bed. You want the long bed because it does increase the gross vehicle weight rating of the truck when you go to a 3,500 too. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for some more videos on the 2022 Rams as they come into the dealerships. Thank you.